the invite, the first thing that I want to talk about is how you can actually integrate your databasing with the invite. And what I would suggest that you do, if you haven't done this already, is take your database and put it into two columns. Now, the first column is going to be your typical name that everybody puts into their database. But the second column is where most people, they haven't taken that extra step. But I find it very valuable for the next part, the invite, if you do this with your database. So make a second column in your database and put why next to the person's name. So the first column is going to be the name. Second reason is going to be why. After you've gone through yourself or working with a new distributor in getting as many names put down as possible, I'm talking 100, 200, 400 names, not 20, 30, putting everybody that pops into your head, grabbing all the contacts out of your phone, putting pen to paper and getting these people down. That second column of why is where we're looking at next. Now with this why, you're going to have people, I think, fall into one of three categories. Now you might think of people because they have specific health reasons going in their life, somebody they know's life, their family, something that they're worried about. But a health reason might pop into your head. Another category that could be part of this why is going to be a business reason. Maybe they're no longer satisfied with their job, or they're complaining about their employment or lack of employment, or wanting something else, doing something different, things like that. So business reasons. And then the third spot that you're going to have, the third category underneath the why, is it's blank. You don't have a reason why you thought of the person. Their name just came to you or was in your contact list and you wrote them down. So now with these three things, here's what you're going to do. That third category that I just talked about, the blank, you need to rekindle that relationship. You need to go out and talk and ask a lot of questions, get together with this person, either, over a cup of coffee, a beer, on Facebook Messenger, but just start getting back in contact with them and asking them lots of questions. You can use the form, the acronym FORM, where you're asking them questions about their family, their occupation, things they like to do for recreation, money questions, things like that, to start to uncover and redevelop that relationship, so that at some point in time you can fill in this why as either a health reason that you thought of them or a business reason that you thought of them. So I want to give you two specific examples of what I'm talking about using this method in your databasing. So two names that I wrote down, I put down Scott and I put down Josh. Let's say these are two guys that I've known since high school. And the first one's Scott. The reason why I put him onto my database, or why he popped into my head, is because Scott is a person that ever since I've known him, everything that he does in the business world seems to turn to gold. Okay, the next one was Josh. I put Josh's name down, and it was more of that health reason that I put his name down. Everybody that I've ever talked to in Josh's family, it seems like, has had a heart attack by the time that they're 40. And so heart disease is very prevalent in his family, and I wrote down heart disease next to Josh. Now, what I'm going to do with this is make it into a very simplistic invite that's related to the person I wrote down in my database. And we're going back to, we're showing people the ABC Primetime video to do the heavy lifting, and we're inviting them to see the ABC video for a very specific reason based on them. It's not that I want them to watch the video, they need to watch the video. So here's what that kind of invite sounds like. And you can just, it's almost like Mad Libs. When you're a kid, you write down the adjectives and the adverbs and the nouns, and then all of a sudden you've got a filled in story. And that's the same thing that we're doing here with your database, is you're finding wording that works for you, wording that sounds like you, and just plugging in the name, plugging in the reason, and inviting them to the information. So here's what I used to do, and I still do with new people that I put onto my database, is I'm taking that name and the reason why I put in that second column, and I'm plugging it into this. Okay. Hey, Scott, you popped into my mind because everything that you do in the business world always seems to turn to gold. You've got to check out this ABC Primetime video. It's going to blow you away. Okay, so I'm plugging in the name, I'm telling him why I thought about him, and he's got to watch this ABC Primetime video because it's going to blow him away. Now, when I tell that to Scott, he's not coming back and saying, is this an MLM thing? Is this, a supplement, or, asking me about superoxide dismutase or Dr. McCord or anything like that, because that wasn't in my invite. He doesn't know if I'm showing him a funny YouTube video or what it is. He just knows, because he's a good business guy, there's something that I want him to see. And it's the same thing with that health related reason. When I put down Josh and heart disease, here's what it sounds like when I call up Josh. I'm saying, hey Josh, ever since I've known you when we were 18 up until now, it seems like every single person that I've met in your family has heart disease by the time that they're 40. There's this ABC Primetime video. You got to check it out. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. Okay. Now, it's not about me. I took it off of me. I put it onto the person of the database, the reason why they need to watch the ABC Primetime video. And then we're simply following up with them as they watch it, scheduling the time. We're not just sending them the link, but we're inviting them to check out the link, see it. They're not asking a bunch of questions because they don't know really why, other than you're excited. There's a reason that you just told them they need to watch it, and getting that video in front of them. So just to reiterate what I was just talking about, if you don't have a reason, rekindle the relationship enough, ask enough questions that you can find out a reason how to invite them, and then find the proper wording that sounds like you. What I just said might sound like you, but for most people it probably isn't. You're going to have to tweak that wording a little bit, the verbiage, but put it into something that you can just naturally say to people right off the cuff. That you're super excited about what you have, what you have your hands on, and the reason they need to check out the video. Then the second part that I want to talk about on the invite is when you start going off of your database and you're just outside your house doing the general things that we do throughout the week. Recently, I heard the phrase, don't go out to prospect, but you can prospect while you're out. And I think that that's very important, because whenever we're out in front of other people, it provides us opportunities that we can get the invite out to people, as long as our ears and our eyes are open to what we're seeing and what we're out doing. So don't go out to prospect, but you can prospect while you're out. And specifically what I mean by that is, let's say you go out to the grocery store and all of a sudden you're in the produce section and the lady next to you is complaining about her back, or she's, complaining that her knee hurts, something like that. And then you can use the if I would you format to invite her to listen to the information. Okay, she's complaining about her knee, and you overhear that and you say, hey, I just heard you saying that your knee's hurting quite a bit. If I had something that potentially could help with that, would you want to know about it? Okay, so you're asking permission to get the video in front of them. Most people are not going to tell you no. They don't want to find out how they can feel better. So again, keeping your eyes and ears open to what people are saying. Texting. Now with me, it's very easy to text my friends something very simple to see what they're up to. Right? That's not outside of the normal activities that we're already doing, and it doesn't feel weird to them that if I text one of my friends and say, hey, what are you doing this Thursday night? If they're doing something, they're going to tell me what they're doing. If they're not doing anything, they're going to tell me they're free, they're available. And so how you can translate that into the invite, let's say I call up my friend Matt or text him and just say, hey, Matt, what are you up to Thursday? If Matt texts me back and he says I'm not doing anything, he's going to watch the video, okay? Or he's going to listen to the opportunity presentation that we have coming up. What I would do is I would do something like this is then once you know that he's available, is text back and say, hey, great. I'm super excited about this new venture that I'm doing. I just really want your feedback and your opinion on it. Could you listen to something for a half an hour and then give me your feedback afterwards? And that's a very soft, gentle approach to getting somebody to give you feedback and hearing the information. And that's honestly a lot of what Michelle and I did early on building our business was, we didn't grow up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We lived here, but we didn't grow up here. So most of the people we were contacting lived in other places, and we were calling them up on the phone, asking them if they were going to be free on Thursday night. If they told us no, we were getting them onto the Stu Brody, Carrie Dickey Thursday opportunity call. And sometimes we'd actually three-way them into the call. We'd listen with them, or we would just call in separately from them, texting them right before, hey, you jumping onto this, and then giving them a call right back after that opportunity presentation was done on the phone, and then, going through the rest of the motion. But these are very, very simple, soft techniques to use to get people in front of the information so you can find out if they're a yes, a no, or a maybe. And here's one that I think you can use with close friends and family is talking to them, whether it's via text or calling them up, is just saying, you've always supported me with everything that I've done. I'd really appreciate if you would check this out and see what I'm so excited about. Very soft approach. Again, getting them in front of the information is really what our ultimate goal is. So these are just basic techniques that you can integrate into what you're already doing. Start with that database though. Go back. Your database should never ever be shrinking unless somebody joins your business as a distributor. Okay. So take that database that you've already developed, work on getting more people on the database, get that second column of why you think about them, and then make it about them as you invite them, and keep it very basic and simple. We often overcomplicate this by telling people too much information during the invite, and then we're not allowing ourselves the opportunity to share the information properly. We're being the message instead of just getting them in front of the information where they can make that yes, no decision.